Hello, my name is Emily, as you may or may not know, and guys, we are going to be stepping back into a realm that we have not ventured in a while, okay? Men's motivation Instagram. Men's motivation Instagram. MMM. So men, listen up. I hope that you leave this video feeling strong and wise, capable and authentic, and you can use this video as a guide for how not to live your life. Because fellas, hey, I hope that you do feel motivated generally, and we should all be focused on bettering ourselves. However, what bettering yourself looks like can be different from person to person. You know, for some people that means eating better, exercising, staying on top of your health, and then for other people it means becoming the most alpha version of yourself that is humanly possible. And today's sponsor, ZocDoc, can help you with the first part. The second part, well, I think you're gonna need to go elsewhere. ZocDoc helped me find a healthcare provider when I had to find my own insurance and assured that I would be able to find somebody in my city for whatever type of appointment I need. The process was easy peasy and straightforward, okay? I found someone who took my insurance and was located nearby very quickly. I know sometimes you feel like you have to go out of your way to make a doctor's appointment. I know there's things that we'd all rather be doing, but it is important to stay on top of your health. And it's important to maybe gain insight about your health that you wouldn't have had otherwise. When I had my appointment, I was able to see that my cholesterol was a little bit high. And then when I thought about it, I was like, I guess I do eat like crap. I don't exercise very often. Maybe I should do something about that. And thanks to ZocDoc, I have a little bit more motivation to take care of myself than before. ZocDoc is a free website that helps you find and book high-quality in-network doctors, all based on your own preferences. You can search through the 200 plus specialties offered on ZocDoc and see which doctors take your insurance, and you can see reviews from real patients before deciding who is the right fit for you. They have over 150,000 providers across all 50 states, covering everything from primary care and dental care to dermatology and eye care. You can book in-person or video calls, see real-time availability, and schedule instantly, with no phone calls required, so you can build a care team that works for you. Plus, with tons of verified patient reviews and detailed doctor profiles, you can get a sense of the provider and their practice before you even step into their office. The nurse practitioner that I saw, she was super friendly, super helpful, made me feel really comfortable, and honestly, we had a great rapport. I feel like we got along quite well. And by the end, I was like, that was not that bad at all, and I can't believe how long I was putting that off. And one of the best things about ZocDoc is that you can see actual appointment openings and then just choose the one that works best for you, which makes things so user-friendly, and it all happens fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours of booking. So stop waiting and stop guessing and start getting the care you need. Go to ZocDoc.com/NotEvenEmily to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. And thank you to ZocDoc, my dearly beloved, for sponsoring today's video. Now, anyways, who's ready to feel motivated? I am a little scared. Okay, so first up we have 5 body language tips for men. Number 1, never walk with your hands in your pocket. It shows you're not combat ready. Number 2, stop smiling so much. It shows submission and femininity. Number 3, ooh, did you hear that little growl there? Stop fidgeting. It makes you bored and makes you boring. Number 4, always have good posture. It makes you look more confident, attractive, and masculine. Number 5, follow me. I'll train you to be better. Okay, so let's break this down step by step. Never walk with your hands in your pocket. It shows you're not combat ready. And here's the thing, I do suppose that's true, especially with how much room there is in men's pockets. I mean, when you pull your hand out, it's basically a 100-meter dash until your hand is actually out in the open air. And while you could argue that this is an alpha mindset, I could also make the argument that this is just generalized anxiety. I can't wear too many layers in the winter because it restricts my movement, and what if someone attacks me? And hey, maybe that's why we see a lot of teenage boys wearing little to nothing in the winter. It's 28 degrees out, why can I see your kneecaps, right? And it's not because they're sluts. And I would never call a teenager a slut unless they deserved it. It's so they can run or perform a killer roundhouse kick. I mean, is this not just another version of, ladies, when you're walking around, make sure that you do not have your headphones in because you never know if someone is creeping up behind you to bash your head in with a cinder block. Which is not unsound advice. It's true. There could be someone in my house right now. Number 2, stop smiling so much. It shows submission and femininity. So this one I do have a little bit more trouble resonating with. So what I immediately thought about were types of people who would really especially suck if they had this mentality. For example, your dentist, right? He tells you, all right, open up, smile wide, show me them pearly whites. And then you go ahead and do that. And he goes, yeah, that's what I fucking thought. Oh yeah, you really want this fluoride, huh? You subservient cuck. Another person you do not want having this mentality is a school picture day photographer, right? Your son comes home from school. You say, hi, little Timmy, how was your day? He goes, well, I got an A on my frigonometry test. I got an A on my frigonometry test. However, I did get called a little beta bitch for smiling. Then that's when I'm gonna say, who the fuck called you that? And then he's gonna say, the answer may surprise you. And now, of course, I feel like we have seen this sort of ideology a lot where men refuse to show emotion because it, is contradictory towards masculinity. But then there's been this sort of counterculture thing where people are like, no, actually, the manliest thing you can do is cry. And while I think that mindset is definitely better than the alternative, I would also like to just put in my 2 cents and say that perhaps showing emotion is neither masculine or feminine, but normal. And then, okay, I just want to focus on the last piece of advice, which is follow me, I'll train you to be better. You're telling me as a hypothetical man to follow your orders. Nice try. I'm not a f***ing beta. I'm not gonna do that. What I am gonna do, kill you. I'm gonna kill you. Kids love heroes. Men understand villains. Ooh. Okay. So we're off to a great start here. If I heard a man say this in real life, I would start calling my loved ones and the authorities. This is motivating men to do what exactly? If a little boy says, I love Batman, and you're supposed to say, well, actually, kid, you don't know shit. I resonate more with the Joker. But I guess that's unfortunately reflective of real life, right? I remember when I first saw the Joker in theaters with Joaquin Phoenix with my family, my whole family, right? Which was a choice. Because let's just say it's not a Pixar film. But seeing that movie and then seeing the response from men and them kind of being like, OMG, low-key me. I did feel a little concerned, I did. I mean, I definitely get how someone would be able to look at a complex villain and be like, oh my god, he's so misunderstood, I feel so misunderstood, #villain era. But I have noticed that when a lot of people enter their quote-unquote villain era, it tends to be because of a failed relationship where they feel that they have been done dirty by a romantic prospect. And I think there are some things that a man and woman's villain era can have in common. For example, one of the big overlaps is going to the gym more, trying to get as sexy as possible, going out more with your friends, maybe you're having more sex, right? However, I will say men tend to take it a step further in their villain era sometimes and do things like, well, singular or mass murder. Her perfume lasts longer than her promises. Okay, I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt here and say that this post is not supposed to be a warning about trusting women who are, of course, all deceitful, but instead it is an advertisement for a really good perfume. This perfume lasts longer than her promises, and she is a loyal, loving woman, so that's saying something. She made a promise at our wedding 20 years ago, and ever since she said I do at the altar, she still smells like lavender midnight cherry mist. Now, I'm sure you'll notice that there's a little bit of a motif in these men's motivation posts, which is that women are all liars. They are all dirty, dirty, deceiving liars who only exist on this planet Earth to take advantage of and disarm men, right? And listen, I think that we really need to accept the fact that lying is a gender-neutral activity. And I know that this page is supposed to be focused towards men, but I would like to hope of a day where you can have a guy run a men's motivation account and also a women's motivation account where maybe he makes a post saying something like, I don't know, game time with the boys on Fortnite last longer than his promises and sex run time. Okay, so these two have a similar vibe, so I'm grouping them together. It's hard to find love when you're poor. Nobody's loyal to a poor, broke, and weak man. So yes, this one is kind of a double feature for the broke man. A twofer. Is this motivating? Who's to say? I do think usually that the best forms of motivation kind of come with an action plan. I would say that this is more so just stating an observation. I mean, imagine someone trying to give a motivational speech using this method. Many of you are ugly, weak, you have no money, but what you do have is an odor. Yeah! Thank you. Thank you. You know, I think that financial stability is something that people look for in their partner regardless of gender, right? I don't think anyone gets into a relationship and thinks to themselves, God, I really hope this person has no financial literacy and could one day win the lottery and still somehow end up in crippling debt. Because you know what? It is hard finding love when you're poor. Why did I sound like I sounded like a witch from like a musical or something? It is hard finding love when you're poor, you broke boy. But yeah, I mean, dating can most definitely be an expense, especially if you are put into the provider position, which a lot of men are put into that position, or they put themselves in that position. I mean, not only is it hard to find love when you're poor, it also might not be the greatest thing to do just strategically. Logistically, right? I mean, if you have to choose between having a romantic partner or shelter, I'm gonna go with the roof over my head. People always say that a lover can keep you warm at night, but you know what else can keep you warm at night? A fully paid electric bill so that the heater can run. Even if it's something less essential, right? You know, choosing between a romantic partner and a shopping spree. Well, I need a little bit more details. How nice is this partner? What are their morals and their aspirations? What kind of clothes are at the thrift right now? Because let's just say if this potential partner isn't even that great and there is a Miu Miu purse at the thrift, well, you tell me what the right answer is. And I won't lie, some of you, when it comes to relationships, remind me of a book by Charles Dickens. Great Expectations, right? When I'm looking at all of these TikToks that are like, and I'm gonna make a video about this, right? These videos that are, you know, if he doesn't book you a trip to Paris this summer, then he doesn't really love you. Things like that. I'm like, okay, by your guys' standards, I as a woman would not be able to live up to your expectations either. And that is why me and my girlfriend are such a great pair because, well, and she wouldn't mind me saying this because we wear it like a badge of honor, we're both cheap. And thank God, right? Because for some of your guys' relationships, it's seeming like you need to somehow report that to the government so that you can get a tax write-off. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. So, when I first saw this post, it sent me into orbit. Because who are these people, right? I feel like these types of posts, they usually use some Pinterest model that's, you know, been screenshotted off of something or whatever. But this photo looks like it has been taken from someone's private Instagram account that they have not logged into or had access to since 2015. I mean, maybe these are famous influencers and I'm just completely unaware of something, but I'm just imagining seeing a photo of you and your friend from a chill kickback posted onto an alpha male Instagram account with the caption, "Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer." Huh? Who's there? Like, did you send this in? Do we have a problem here? Is there something you want to tell me, right? I mean, honestly, this would be such a passive-aggressive way of addressing conflict. You know, you forget to pay a friend back for lunch, and then all of a sudden the next week there's a picture of you two plastered onto this Instagram page with a big bold text on the photo that says, "Always check a man's Venmo history. That will tell you the truth." Pardon? And while we're at it, even if it's not a casual looking photo and you are a literal model, it would still be very odd to be like, you know, "I'm super excited. I just got casted in this new Rolex campaign." And then you see a picture from that photo shoot being posted by an Instagram account called something like the Testosterone King. And then on your photo, it says something like, "A real man knows the power of his roar. Let it rumble." Huh? Never trust a jobless girl who's using an iPhone 14. That's what they always say. This does seem a little targeted. If you are a woman who is unemployed and you own an iPhone 14, just know that there's a red dot on your forehead and it's not a bindi. This almost feels like the background picture for this post should just be of the woman of you're talking about, like it's a wanted poster. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad it's not. But for some reason, this is just kind of reminding me of those pictures that you'll see in gas stations or corner stores where it'll be a picture of someone with big, bold writing that says, you know, "Thief, do not let enter, report, report." Or it also reminds me of like an urban legend or a superstition, something like that. You know, they say, what is it? Don't break a mirror or you will get 7 years of bad luck. Never trust a jobless girl with an iPhone 14 or you and your prosperity will reach a fate that is most unfortunate. No man is ugly when he's jacked. Okay, now we're really just saying things. Listen, attractiveness is subjective. That's the beautiful part of the world, right? You can look at someone who is worse than chopped liver, chopped pancreas, right? Chopped gallbladder that has gallstones, mind you. And for someone else, that is the sexiest piece of meat they've ever laid eyes on. Some women can ignore a consistently declining face card if there are big juicy muscles to make up for it. And to those women, I say, I applaud you. You're more tolerant than I would be. Now, let me be clear because I can already read some of the comments, right? I don't go to the gym to look attractive for women like you who are shaped like a plank of wood. And to that I say, fair enough. However, I do think that once you are getting to a certain point of jacked, it's like, yeah, you're not really even thinking about the aesthetics as much anymore. I mean, I'm sure it is in your mind, but to me, it's also like, okay, so you're more so preparing for some type of apocalypse, it looks like to me. Which is smart, because it is coming. I know that the types of men that I do find attractive, although I don't want to date them, is, you know, they aren't really serving me that veiny Hawaiian roll look. It's like if I roll over in bed in the morning and see the Thing from Fantastic Four staring back at me, it's gonna be, you know, get ready with me morning routine. Step 1, scream at the top of my lungs. And beyond the personal preferences for aesthetics, you know, and I believe I've said this before, I just don't want to date a man who could kill me very easily. I don't mind him being able to win in a physical fight with me if for some reason we both consented to doing that. However, I would want him to struggle a little bit. Like, I wouldn't want it to be so easy where it's like, you know, the person goes, "Show on," or whatever. I don't know. What do they do at wrestling matches? They probably ring a bell or something like that, or someone blows a whistle, whatever. And then, you know, all he has to do is flick me in the forehead and then I'm decapitated. I don't want to date you. You could kill me in my sleep. Okay, so here's another step-by-step guide. How to tease her. Number 1, look in her eyes and say nothing. I don't know how much this is teasing her rather than just an odd intimidation tactic. So am I making anything tingle or what? Number 2, make her feel seen without giving her all of you. Okay. Number 3, give her a compliment, then pull back. I see. I guess I would just kind of want to witness what this would look like in practice, right? Because I could see these instructions being a little bit unclear and things going wrong. For example, you look really beautiful tonight. No, you don't. That dress looks amazing on you. Actually, it's fugly. I do feel like there is a bit of potential for things to go wrong, because this whole sort of push and pull thing, it doesn't really work if you're not good at it. And hey, that might be likely, right? Your date might be sitting across from you at the Red Lobster thinking to themselves, okay, male, early 20s, erratic behavior. Am I witnessing an onset of schizophrenia? And I guess this is supposed to be a form of negging, which men love to do. I'm a little bit confused because for me personally, I know some people are like, when their flirting style is just like bullying you. And it's like, okay, I understand it a little bit, but if I can take a snippet from our conversation and it can be used for an anti-bullying PSA, it's kind of like, okay, do I really want that? Who is to say? But whenever a man tries to neg me, it's like, babe, I already didn't want to be in this conversation to begin with, and you're making it worse. But, I get it, because when a woman is mean, well, let's just say that one of my sexual awakenings was Santana Lopez. So do with that information what you will. But yeah, if you decide to take this advice seriously, I just pray that you know what you're doing. Because it's possible that she will be thinking about you after the date, but not necessarily in a way of like, wow, I can't wait to see him again, but more in a way of, wow, that was really odd and off-putting. When a man doesn't care about pain and pleasure, he becomes unstoppable. Okay, why are we not caring about pain and pleasure? That's like the salt and pepper of life. Baby, you don't want to garnish? I just feel like if a man disregards enough pain, he might just die. Right? I mean, I don't want any of you guys looking at this post and thinking that if you're ignoring your pain, it makes you, a stronger man. You might be having an appendicitis. I am imagining being a healthcare provider for a man with this mindset, right? And I ask him, what is your pain on a scale of 1 to 10? And then he goes, I don't really think about that. I don't really give a fuck. Sir, your femur is snapped in half. And you're wiping the blood off of your pants like it's fucking croissant crumbs. And then not caring about pleasure either. It's like, okay, so what do you care about? Neutrality? Like, I'm hooking up with somebody and they care about your pleasure, right? And they ask you, does that feel good? You say, no comment, don't really care. Desperate men act rich to impress girls. High value men act poor to test girls. And I've always said that. If a man tries to act poor in order to test me, then that tells me that he is a high value alpha male. So I actually test him to make sure that he's testing me. If you're a man and we are on a first date and I ask you, what's your favorite snack? And you say a brand name, you're done. You're already done. Too expensive. Hello, I thought you were supposed to be testing me. You said that your favorite snack was Cheetos. What you're supposed to say is, my favorite snack is generic orange crunchy puff. If we're getting frozen yogurt, I'm expecting you to say to me, I'm sorry, but due to budget constraints, I do have a topping limit. Anything over 7 sprinkles, I will need to be reimbursed. But you know what? I don't even know if penny pinching would be considered acting poor necessarily, because that can very much so be a rich person trait as well. Everyone always talks about how rich people are the first ones to Venmo request for the smallest of things. Like, actually, when we were at brunch the other day, I noticed that one of the sesame seeds from my everything bagel fell into your purse, and I do estimate that that seed probably was worth around 1/5 of a cent. So maybe over the next year or two, I can just let the interest accumulate, and then you you can Venmo me for a cent. I mean, I do understand this post in regards to, you want to make sure that someone likes you for you and not what's in your wallet. But something tells me that a lot of the men who sincerely consume this type of content, that they might not have to act poor at all. And if they are acting, they're going method. If she can type ha 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 without laughing, then she can also shout ah, 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 without feeling. That's very interesting. Okay guys, I'm gonna test this out. I'm gonna type ha 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 without laughing. Let's see if I can do it. Whew, that was a close one. Okay, and then now what is it? Let me shout ah ha 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 without feeling. Okay. Oh, wait, that's with feeling. Sorry. Okay, wait, without feeling, straight face. Oh. All right, I guess the rumors are true. I guess I'm just not really sure what the point of this post is. If every woman who types haha or LOL without laughing is disingenuous and not worth romantic love, well, yeah, I mean, your dating pool might decrease significantly. Believe it or not, it's actually pretty common to type things that aren't supposed to be taken literally. When I see something funny and I comment, I'm dead, I'm not actually flatlining. If a woman types LMAO and her ass is still on, that doesn't mean that she's cheating on you with 10 other guys. Okay? Alpha males, take it from me. It's going to make life and dating a lot easier if you just consider these abbreviations or these texting things more like punctuation rather than pebbles of truth. If she is using dog's filter, it doesn't mean she's loyal. Okay, so now we're able to tell the difference between online behavior and real life. If couples have no intimacy for weeks, every little thing will annoy them and argue more. Couples who have intimacy 4 times a week never cheat and last forever. What a compelling statistic. This, unfortunately, sounds like a Facebook post that a married person would show to their partner to kind of hint to them that they want to be having sex more. Yeah, slap a minion on this thing and I'm sure it would do numbers. And the thing about having sex 4 times a week, some people would not only accept this proposition, but embrace it with wide open arms and wide open legs, right? However, there's others of us who are busy or tired. I do think that in regards to a very long-term relationship, consistently having sex 4 times a week, every week, at that point, it's like we are running our relationship like a business and we're trying to meet a quota. We are scheduling a Google meeting to discuss logistics and timeline. I personally think that having desire-driven and spontaneous physical intimacy might be a little more meaningful than the mindset of 1 down, 3 more to go. I don't want you to think about exploring my body in the same way that you think about emptying the dishwasher, vacuuming the living room. It's not really screaming forever and always to me. They hate me because it's easier than defeating me. Good Lord. The types of men who look at posts like this and think to themselves, yep, that's the truth. I just want to sit down and have a conversation with you because who is they? Does more than one person hate you? I just feel like if you have too many enemies, babe, we gotta start doing the math. And you must discover that you might be the common denominator. I want to say if you have more than 4 enemies, it might, they might not have these negative feelings towards you because you can beat them in arm wrestling. It's probably because you walk around thinking that you can physically overpower anyone who disagrees with you. Keep smiling because life is a beautiful thing and there's so much to smile about. I just wanted to include this one as sort of a palate cleanser because it actually is a nice reminder and I appreciate them for including this. And it goes to show that even when you're digging through a dumpster, there might be a daisy. Love is like a tornado. Once you got stuffed, better be ready to get fucked. First of all, I think you meant to say sucked. Second of all, is that Noah Beck in the background. So I am having a little bit of trouble understanding this one. They are implying that love is like a tornado. And then they start talking about sucking and fucking. The sucking part I understand because, well, you know, a tornado, it sucks things and it twirls it around. The fucking part, well, I've never heard of a tornado doing that. I didn't know that was happening. So let's just say if I ever join a tornado chasers group and I show up to the first meeting with lingerie and lube and everyone there is acting confused, I'm going to point to you for misguidance. You know that old reality show Doomsday Preppers? I need them to revive that television show just so that I can have, it's one season, one episode. 5 minutes, 5 minutes max. And it is just me preparing for a tornado. And this is step 1. And step 2, God, I can't even begin to show you on camera. Loyal women use text, not Snapchat. Sure. And I would even go a step further and say loyal and legal women don't use Snapchat. I mean, at this point, if someone was trying to romantically pursue me and asked me for my Snapchat, first of all, okay, what? You want my MySpace too? Should I give you my landline while we're at it? And then second of all, you want my Snapchat. What else do you want? My notes from geography class? Don't you have study hall? Why are you here? Love is for boys. Men die for a mission. This is very men used to go to war coded, right? Men used to go to war walked so that men die for a mission could run. Away from an enemy, probably. For men that have this mindset, it's just like, okay, I guess you can do that if you want. You know, if you believe that you are a better man because you are willing to die for a mission than the guy who is happily married and has experienced true love in his life, then I guess you can just die. Is that better for you? And although I'm sure I've said this phrase before, the whole thing with the men used to go to war joke that is kind of reflected here, it's just like, okay, so you would rather men be violent or be a witness to extreme violence than him use a clay face mask? You know, sure, men shoulda, woulda, coulda died for a mission, but maybe the experience of love might be a little bit more enticing and overall bring more positivity to the world. 5 things you must know about women. Number 1, she wants validation more than your love. For dating apps, that is probably true. Sometimes the goal is just to get compliments and not a ring. Number 2, she loves you more when you make her cry. Number 3, when she disrespected you, silence is the best answer. Number 4, women change their mind all the time. That's why you must master the concept of detachment. Number 5, you don't need a woman, you need a mission. Oh geez, here we go again with the mission. When they talk about this so-called mission, what task are you referring to, right? I'm curious, are we talking about something like stealing the Mona Lisa or flossing every night? You know what I'm getting from this? Ladies, if you're having trouble getting your husband to do chores or things around the house, what you need to do is just pose it like it is a mission that he must die for. All right, honey, so here's the situation. A toxic matter has infiltrated the vicinity. Our home is a danger zone. Our children are at risk, and we need a strong and capable man to try and mitigate this terrible damage that might be done. This is your mission. Are you willing to die for it? And what I'm really trying to get him to do is take out the fucking trash. How to pull girls out of your league. Number 1, stop looking at girls' ass. Eye contact will literally fool them. Number 2, call her the F word. Number 3, don't agree with everything they say. Have your own opinion. Okay, well, one of these is not like the other, so I'm going to be focusing on number 2. I'm going to need you to elaborate when you say the F word, because there's plenty of F words, some more offensive than others. Let's just go through the possibilities, right? Obviously, the most obvious one to me is fuck, something like that. And I don't know how charmed a woman would be by that. Especially if the woman is already out of your league. It's like, buddy, you're already behind. This whole shtick might put you 10 more steps to the rear. Imagine you just had a date with a perfect, dreamy guy who was a gentleman the whole night. He didn't even stare at your ass once, and if he did, he was really discreet about it. He drops you off at your house. He leans in close and says, I had such a good time with you tonight. I really, really like you, and I feel like this could go somewhere. Have a good night, fucker. And then now there's another F word that I'm thinking of that is maybe a little bit worse. And, if they called me that, I would kind of be like, okay, I actually think there's a different slur for me that you can say. And if you're not aware of what word I'm talking about, let's just say fierce and gorgeous. It's also possible that they want us to think outside the box a little bit, right? Maybe the F word is Ford F-150. Formaldehyde. Fungal. Tell me if formaldehyde starts with a PH. Oh, I'm gonna be sick. No, formaldehyde starts with an F. Oh my god, and all is right in the world once again. She'll never love you as much as your mother. Okay. Is that necessary? I mean, they say there's nothing like a mother's love. I'm not trying to take that away from her. But also, as your romantic partner, I would be hoping that there's things about our love that your mother isn't able to provide you. Right? Love from your mom and love from your partner should be distinct. I would like to think that we're bringing different things to the table. And if we're bringing the same things to the table, well, then that warrants a different conversation. If we're both bringing a green bean casserole to the table, well then shit. But it doesn't have to be that way. Your mom can bring a lemon honey roasted rotisserie chicken, and then I can bring a boxed wine that makes your mom think that I'm cheap. We're all addicts. Some choose drugs, and some choose growth. And some choose both. Hi, Viagra. Okay, one last piece of advice. Flirty ways of telling her good morning. Number 1, don't say, good morning, how did you sleep? Say, woke up thinking of you. Dangerous, right? Don't say, hope you have a great day. Say this, the sun's jealous of your shine this morning. Don't say, did you have breakfast? Say this, breakfast is overrated when the thought of you is my morning fuel. Let's just sit with that. So of course, all of these are magnificent. But I will say the first one does stand out to me the most because I am scared. Woke up thinking of you. Dangerous, right? I don't know. Is that right? Whatever you're about to do, don't bring me into it. Danger where? You woke up thinking of me, and now all of a sudden I'm gonna see you on Channel 4 News and seeing that you robbed a bank? But anyways, we're done here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Men, comment down below. Do you feel motivated after watching this video? Women, comment down below. How are you? That is it. I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope that you get a good night's sleep tonight and that you have a really fun dream. Okay. Until next time.